great.
About
Congratulations,
that.
we won Tenebris.
Nothing bad happened.
Nothing bad
About
happened.
that.
Oh,
I'm sure you're
Sad.
right, though. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure you're going to be able to do that. I wouldn't worry about it. It sounds like a solid plan.
Yeah.
Same. Yep. Feeling good.
Really glad to hear that.
Cries.
Makes me really happy.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. Hello. Welcome. If you've never caught us before, we are live from the apocalypse. We're a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that makes actual play content like streams and podcasts to raise money for nonprofits, aid organizations, and other important good causes. We're currently raising money for Doctors Without Borders, the very important critical medical and humanitarian aid that they are providing in Gaza currently. Where things are awful. Things are awful here. Things are awful pretty much everywhere in the world, but especially there. So we ask that if you like what you see here, instead of doing the normal twitch.tv things of interacting with fake cyber currency, which I would not recommend in any aspect of your life, you instead take the $5 or the $6 or whatever a Twitch subscription is going for these days, and you just give it directly to Doctors Without Borders instead of to us. Because we just play this silly game and other silly games. They're good. They're fun. They are silly, and they are games. Doctors Without Borders will do very good and important work with your money, so maybe just give it to them instead. To that end, we have made it as easy as possible. We have hidden the subscribe button. Seek it at your own peril, but instead, we have replaced it with a donate button. And if you click that, you can give money to Doctors Without Borders. Instead, it'll trigger an alert, which will make me stop talking and may buy our intrepid crew a little bit of time before the next awful situation befalls them. And yeah, it's just a good thing to do if you don't mind, and if you can spare it. Also, that's the other half of it. There is no expectation. Hey, thank you for the follow. I think we got another follower during the starting soon screen. Hi,
We did.
welcome. Yeah. What else we got? If you are able to locate the subscribe button, we can't stop you from hitting it. It is not the thing that Twitch lets us turn off. Just be aware that for every month that you are subscribed to this channel, beloved Dimension 20 Dungeon Master Brendan Lee Mulligan will kill a dog. He'll murder one dog for every month that you've been subscribed to this channel. It's a tragedy. It's a travesty. I actually think somebody might be about to subscribe. Crazy to think about, but maybe only do that if you have like a Prime sub or something that's already included in your thing. We would not encourage you to do that. If you have a Prime sub, you got to put it somewhere. And hey, we're here.
We're queer.
Get used to it.
Get used to it.
Hell yeah.
That being said, don't subscribe. Instead, donate to Doctors Without Borders. I think that's most of the stuff. And the things, this is Nephilim Tenebris. This is a sequel game to the first game, one of the first games that was ever run on this channel, which was a gritty near-future sci-fi game, and this is much the same. It takes place about 100 years in the future, a little bit less than that, and it's got there's so much there's so much happening, and we are gonna get right on into it. Pretty much. Right now, I got an ad. Anyway, we're going to go around and do introductions, and then we will get on into our game. But, am I forgetting anything? That's all the things. Stuff in the things. Pretty sure. What's this? Oof, we are struggling. We're going to go around and do our introductions, and then we'll get right on into our game, which means that if you don't mind, we're going to start with you, Alex. But I don't want to set you up for failure because I'm about to.
Okay.
I'm about to use my Prime sub, so just...
Why are you doing this?
Just hang tight. Just hang tight.
my
It's fine.
You gotta use Jeff Bezos' money. It's very important.
It's true.
To
It's
fund
true.
ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the bootstraps, I think, that he was talking about.
Yes. Yes, these are said bootstraps.
Yeah.
So
Pull
we're in good
ourselves
shape.
up by Will's bootstraps. Got it.
Excuse
Yeah.
me.
Specifically Will's. Everyone get in line.
Excuse me. Excuse you.
We can do that at the panel.
So true.
At the Fight Your Friends panel? Yeah, that seems about right.
He's the bad guy.
Can't believe you.
All the bad guys.
Wow.
We killed a lot of dogs.
Now, hold on.
We killed a lot of dogs.
We're not doing anything.
You're right. Beloved Dungeon Master Brennan Lee Mulligan killing 30 dogs.
He
It's
needs
true.
to be stopped.
He
Someone
really
He does. He has a problem.
please stop him.
Monster.
doesn't stop killing dogs.
He has a
beseeching you.
problem.
You know,
Please donate to Doctors Without Borders. It's the only way he'll
Please
stop.
do it.
please do it.
Not afraid of a lawsuit. Anyway, Alex,
That
you were
means he
going
has
to
to talk
introduce
to
yourself?
us. We've talked about this.
I mean,
We
yeah.
have.
Hello. I'm Alex. I use he, him pronouns, and I am going to be playing Dr. Richard Courtney, the Sawbones, who also uses he, him pronouns. Dr. Richard Courtney is the character who is bold enough to ask, what if the smallest bean, but in space?
It's true. They said it couldn't be done, but he asked. Him ask.
Him ask.
Him ask. Eli.
Hi, my name is Eli. I go by any and all pronouns, as well as this crew's resident junker, Padlock, who likes to ask the question: "Is crime tastier when you wear a pork bun hat?"
We think the answer is yes.
Okay, we're doing bits today.
The answer may surprise you.
Click here for these 5 tasty crime tips.
It's true. Crime doesn't want you to know these five tasty tips. Is that you, Eli?
Yeah, that was it.
All
That's
right.
all I have.
Yeah, I know you're good, Mallory.
Hi, I'm Mallory. Gosh, my voice. I play Luna Larson, who's the runner of Playbook. We both use they, she pronouns. And currently she's being audited because she stabbed me and has no idea why this would be a problem. But it's fine.
It is. It's definitely fine. I don't appreciate the impersonation, but it is good. So I guess I'll
Imitation
let
is
it
the
slide.
highest. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. Will it's
True.
fine.
Identity theft is a
true.
crime.
Yeah.
Just showing my love out here. Don't worry.
Cute.
Hi, I'm Q. Tonight I'm going to be playing Cassidy's Star Runner, who's the jockey playbook, who is just the question of what if you threw just a bunch of pills in a bottle and just Russian rouletted that shit? There you
Look
go.
good while
That's
you're
it.
doing it.
Always. We try.
The FDA does force us to add a caveat, which is don't do that.
Oh, right. For legal purposes, that was a joke.
Kids, don't do that at home.
Doctors Without Borders don't do that at all.
Bottoms Without Borders. I'm so sorry.
Excuse me.
Oh, we're bringing that back. Phenomenal.
Rose.
What's up? I'm Rose. I use they, she pronouns. I play Jojo, the engineer, uses they, she pronouns. Jojo dares to ask the question, how much angst can you put into such a small body? Yeah, wet cat with problems. That's Jojo.
Problems.
Jojo is the meme. You know how much anxiety you can fit in this baby?
So much.
So much.
So much.
So visceral tonight.
Our ship runs with duct tape
It's true.
Dreams.
and pure spite.
Sure does.
Jojo and
What's this one
Padlock are
sound
just
like?
April and Andy. Everyone's gonna die. Have fun.
Fun.
This is not. One of you has to work.
Do they?
Apparently not. Which I don't love. Oh, Okay, I remember now. Yeah, you keep doing this. It's fine.
Why is the sad music on?
Because I was just trying to test it. I wasn't hearing anything. But now I think we're good. Is it still loud? No, it's good. All right, cool. That'll work. So, where we are going to begin,
Wait,
I think.
our storyteller has not introduced himself.
Oh, that's true. I forgot. Hi, hello. Hi, my name is Will. I play everyone else who dares to ask the question, what if everyone else? Yeah.
So deep.
Okay, that was it.
Yes.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
Sure.
it. That was
Yes.
it.
sure.
Please snap.
Fantastic.
Moving.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Those are my joints. It's fine.
Please
It's
snap,
fine.
crackle,
Keep
and or
playing.
pop.
All of them, baby.
You got to get the hat trick, truly.
It's true. All right. Well, with all of our introductions out of the way, where we will begin is on the Ring Gate station. Does have a designation. Somebody wrote it down. Not
Yes.
It was Q.
It
There's so
was
many pictures of
me.
pork bun hats. Ring Gate 315C. It's where we're going to begin.
Fantastic.
And I think where we will start is in the bunk. Well, actually, in the galley of a ship that is docked here on the Ring Gate. But this ship in question, it's not the Tenebris. This is a different ship. Much more sterile. Much more official. Much less run down. Much more official. Where Luna Larson currently stands across from a man that they have known for a good time, not a long time. A man named Sawyer. Except these days, Sawyer's a little bit different than when you first encountered him. Namely, currently, he has one iron grip wrapped around your arm. And there are red lights in the corneas of his eyes.
Yeah.
So, Luna, what would you like to do?
I have
just
a like
fucking grip it,
amount of
grip
things
it,
I'd like to do in
baby.
quick succession.
Oh,
Leave me
yeah,
in my
down,
slow,
dude.
man.
Well, you got a few
Prep one for
seconds.
the big boy.
Thanks, Will's mom. Thanks for the donation.
Thanks, Will's mom.
Thanks, Will's
Thank you, Will's mom.
Thanks, Will's mom.
The magnitudes of love are strong.
I'm going to see Will's mom on Thursday.
Yay!
Hell
Huzzah.
Happy
yeah.
Will's Mom's Day.
Can
Thank you for the
petition to
donation.
make that an actual LFTA holiday.
Yeah.
Will's mom's day?
Will's
Will's
Mom's
Mom's
Day.
Day.
Yeah. And then every
Everyone
time it
loves
rolls
to celebrate
around,
Will's Mom's Day.
we can be like, what's with today? We'll be like, it's Will's Mom's Day. Come on.
It is every other Tuesday. Will's mom's day.
Aw.
All right. Now stop watching.
Okay.
No, this game is fun. All right, cool. So, Luna.
Right, don't worry. I have a few things I want to do in like very rapid succession, as quickly as I can get them off. Anyway, one is get on my comm. Hey, one night stands aren't worth it. So if someone could get here, that'd be great.
Where's here? Where is here?
I give
I
like the
think-
briefest directions to the ship that I can.
Luna, you can do that, but as you do that, I am going to need you to roll to act fast.
Fair.
I need you to roll with gut.
Oh, good. Gut's my good one. None.
Okay, with a 9, you make it work, but I get to impose one of the following on you. You suffer harm in the rush to make it. Something you're using breaks and must be repaired. You face a tough choice, a hard bargain, or an ugly outcome. Cool.
Give me your worst.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right. I think that's fair. I think you are going to have to face a tough choice in this case. And I think that tough choice is going to be that you think you can pull away and kind of slip away from Sawyer. What happens after that, you're not sure, but you think you can maybe get out of his grip. The problem is going to be you're going to lose your transcom in the process. So you can either stay and use the transcom, or you can get away, get out of his grip, but lose it.
Do I know if there are more back on the ship?
Yes, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
backups?
they're very easy to get a hold of.
Okay, well then I'll lose it. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Then in that case, you yank your arm in a certain direction that pushes his arm to the side, and as you do that, his grip loosens exactly enough with this angle that you can kind of yank your arm out. But in the process, his other arm is going to shoot out and try to grab you, I think actually by the hair. And I think is going to actually, unfortunately, pull out a few like strands, but you're fast, so you're able to get out of the way. A few strands of your hair do come out, and unfortunately, the transcom also gets pulled out of your ear in that process. And I think you hear it sort of crunch as he closes his hand into a fist. And in that moment, you are now kind of like facing him, but you're on your feet. You are loose, and he is going to say, comply.
Never. I can I do a check because he's a cyborg, right? That's what we discussed. Can I do a check to see if I have any sort of working knowledge on like weak points, fail safes, anything like that?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can maybe get a read. You're going to roll with gut again.
Okay. Cool. That's 11.
All right. 11 is fantastic. You can hold 2. And so you can spend that hold 1-to-1 to ask me one of the following questions. When you act on the answer, you take +1 forward. What's hidden, obscured, or unclear? How can I exploit a weakness, vulnerability, or opportunity? What's the largest uncounted threat, variable, or danger? What's the best way I could blank?
How do I exploit a weakness is my first one.
All right. How can you exploit a weakness? Yeah, so I think that you grew up around this tech first and foremost. And I think you can recognize the kind of high-end stuff that your family produced. You don't know that he has like Larson cybertech implanted into his body, but at the very least, you know enough about how it works. And if you are going to exploit a weakness here, yeah, I think actually what I'm going to say is that you can realize that he has what is commonly called a kill switch, which is a little bit of a misnomer because it is not a switch that kills him necessarily. What it is it's basically an override. And I think you can tell from the way that his mannerisms changed, from the way that he no longer has the accent that he had when you were doing your activities, that he has that same type of kill switch technology implanted in him, and it has currently been activated. And so he may not even be aware of what he's doing. He's basically following protocols that have been programmed into him.
Okay, so then my second one is how do I get him to stop following protocols?
You could target the kill switch. You could try to disengage the kill switch. There are a couple ways you could do that. I think generally you would know that it the easiest way to do it would be a sudden, unless the technology has improved drastically from when you were growing up. I think you remember hearing a few R&D folks, maybe at one of your parents' dinner parties, discussing this, and a like strong jolt of electricity basically to his spine could fry the system. Or you could try to break it with a weapon, probably an edged weapon of some kind. You just might. Neither one of these has a 0% chance of killing him.
Yeah. I don't really care if he lives is the problem. I'm going to go for my knife because I've got plenty of them.
Mm-hmm. How many exactly?
Infinite is what it says on my character sheet. So I'll just go with the next one since I think my first one got knocked out of my hand after I stabbed him. Pull one out of my jacket, and I'm going to go for somewhere along his spine where I think is most likely for it to be placed.
Yeah, so I think actually that the kill switch itself, the sort of chip, is actually sort of implanted in his brain stem.
Oh, perfect.
So
then I'll go for that.
It's more like the base of the skull.
Just like stab up and through here, essentially, is the game plan.
Important question.
I can.
Important question.
Okay.
How careful / precise are you being?
I mean, I think to a point, because I know where it is, I know that I have to be fairly precise.
Yes, but my question is more, are you trying to do this in a way that will keep him alive?
Oh. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then in that case, I mean, I think regardless, it's good to know that you were trying to be precise. I do still think this is going to count as getting in a fight. So I think you're going to have to roll with spine.
Okay. I don't think that is. Okay, it's a 1. It's not awful. It's not my worst.
It's positive.
11.
Hell yeah. All right, cool. So you have this knife in your hand. You're kind of facing each other. He is going to move in a very kind of unnatural but very fast way, where he's just kind of going from a standing position to like lunging at you, essentially very aggressively. But there's no real sign of aggression on his face. It's very sort of stoic and not very much like a person's at all, actually, in this moment. He's lunging at you. What does it look like? Because you are going to succeed on this.
I think as he tries to lunge toward me, I almost boost myself off of the table, like grab his shoulder, put my feet up on the table, and jump behind him, wrap my arm around his throat, and stab up.
Okay. All right. And you feel your knife go in. You feel a slight bit of resistance. You're not 100% sure about whether it's like bone or tech, but you kind of have to roll those dice. You push a little bit harder. You apply a little more pressure. Probably have to leverage both hands like on the back of it. And you feel it sink in. Sawyer drops to the ground. In that moment.
Okay.
So
I'll check to see if he's breathing.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. You can kneel down. You go to try to find a pulse. He does appear to be breathing.
So I did it right. That's great. I book it. I'm done. I don't need to stay here.
Okay. All right. So you're just leaving.
I'm
I'm
gonna
I'm
do
just
like a
asking.
very, very quick search of is there anything super useful here that we need or could use? And
Okay.
then dash with whatever that might be.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like
Why don't
credits,
you
extra supplies, they're still in the ring. They can get more for themselves if they really need it, but
roll with brain?
okay. That's a 7.
You get 2 holds. You can
Okay.
ask questions, spend them just like with analyze, just like with the other move. What's something unusual or abnormal? What's a hidden feature? How much is it worth to the right person? Who touched or operated it most recently? Where did it come from? Who made it originally?
First, let's go with what's worth the most.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. How much is it worth to the right person? I mean, Sawyer to the right person is worth a lot because he's an auditor. That could be one thing, but then you'd have to, figure out what to do with him.
Yeah.
If you wanted to keep him as a prisoner. There are definitely, you're kind of in the belly of the beast here, right? Where there are absolutely data tablets around that definitely have codes and information that you are not supposed to have access to. They're almost certainly impossibly well encrypted. You definitely need some kind of a high-end hacker or data broker or someone like that to be able to access that information, even the smallest degree. And I will tell you for free, that's going to put an even bigger target on your back.
I really want one of those tablets, though. I don't want to take him. That's too risky.
Okay. You got another question. But yeah,
do.
you can grab a tablet.
Before I decide that, my second question is the one, like, what is the most unusual or unique thing?
Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay. I think I'm going to say that it is one of the data tablets. But I think it's because this data tablet looks different from the others that you can kind of see scattered around the ship. This one has a this one appears a lot more solidly built. Like, it appears a lot more secure, but it appears a lot more secure physically. Like, if you dropped this one, it would be fine. But it looks like it would be nearly impossible to get at the guts of this thing.
Yeah.
And then I think besides that, you'd see that there is a symbol carved into the back of it, or emblazoned into the back of it, really. Which it almost looks like a T, but the top parts kind of curl over on themselves a little bit.
Okay. I want to take one of the tablets that is not the special one, because people will notice if the special one is gone before they'll notice if a different one is gone. If there's
Fair.
multiple of the other kind. So I'll take one that is not the unique one, but I'm gonna find like paper or something around where I can draw that symbol on to where I can take it back with me.
Yeah, it's a very simple symbol. I think that would be very easy for you to remember. You're just grabbing one of the not special tablets.
Correct. Because
Okay.
if there's only one of the special tablet, it's too easy to spot that it's missing.
Fair.
Whereas the other ones are not unique enough. And then as I'm like running out, if there's any like supplies or anything out in the open, I'll just take it too and shove it in my bag.
That is fair. I think the only other thing I will mention is that as you are kind of scouring this place and you notice some of these devices, you see that tablet kind of sitting out where it's in the open, probably not where it's supposed to be. You glance up, and I think you would notice the sort of refracted light off of a lens set into the ceiling.
Like a security camera situation?
Like a security camera, yeah, which I mean is pretty normal on most ships.
Yeah.
That are,
good. I'm going to break it real quick. And I'm going to double check if there are any more security cameras from the entrance of the ship to his room and back, and break all of them.
Okay. All right.
I don't know where they keep everything, so I can't exactly go erase it, but
that's fair.
I'll at least break what I can.
Yeah, you can do that. And then you're just legging it?
Yep, and once I'm off that ship, I am acting like everything is totally fine until I get to the table. There is no running, there is no rushing, because the rest of his crew is still here somewhere.
And it's funny that you mentioned that.
Probably should have put his body in his bedroom. Oh well, it's too late.
It's funny you mentioned that, because as you round one of the corners back towards the food court area, the commissary, you almost bump into 3 people wearing identical uniforms to Sawyer. And I think for the most part, they're just going to say, excuse me. But one of them, whose head is shaved, has a little bit of a beard. And I think one ear that is just kind of a massive scarring with, you can see some cyber tech that's been implanted, probably to make it functional. Pauses and looks back at you and says, weren't you talking to Sawyer earlier?
Oh, yeah, we hit it off in the Taco Tower line, but he said he wasn't feeling well, wanted to go back to the ship.
I was a little skeptical. You're going to need to roll with face to fast talk.
It's fine. I can do this. It'll be fine. That's an 8.
Okay. They'll buy it, but I add one more thing first. Yeah, okay. They need some concrete proof of what you're saying is what I'm going to say. So he hesitates. And he says, oh, was it that, was it that gunshot wound he took on our last job?
Did I I see a gunshot wound when we slept together?
You did not.
Oh, he didn't say anything to me about a gunshot wound, so I guess I wouldn't know, but you know, maybe. I mean, you all would know him better than I do, obviously.
He still looks a little skeptical, but he'll nod, say, all right, well, thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
And I am off to the table because I know that I should have put his body in his bedroom, and I didn't, and it's in the galley. So I am off to my table to find my people.
Yeah, and some of them are still there. Some of you went back to the ship or are still hanging out.
Jojo is on the ship after getting supplies and is repairing the engine room.
Right.
Question first, actually.
Yeah.
Did we get any of Luna's message?
I think you would have heard the comms kick on,
Okay.
but then just static.
Cool. All right. Cool. So then in the meantime of all of that, everyone check in.
Jojo, engine room.
There's some fumbling, and then Dickie spits out his vampire fangs, and he says, Dickie in the commissary.
I'm here. We got all that stuff for you.
Hold on to that thought. Luna, I'm gonna hope that you are fucking. I'm gonna hope. Okay.
Should I warm up the engine, sir?
You know what? Yes, probably. Okay. Patty, what stuff?
Oh, we got all those vials that you asked us to get. Right? And I'm like also talking to Dickie at the same time. You remember you told him about the vials, right? We got the whole bandolier of them. We got like 6 or 7 of them. Right?
Captain,
What?
Takes out the vampire fangs again. Yeah, Captain, you asked me to investigate the auto dock, and we investigated.
Okay. All right. So you've said two things, right? And separately, one's concerning, the other's not. If you put them together, I have questions. Okay, you got the vials. The vials of what?
Vaccine. The experimental vaccine.
Just ripped it right out. Yeah, got him. Super easy.
You ripped it out of the auto dock.
Well, yeah, they wouldn't give it to me.
All right, I'm prepare hot exit. Son of a bitch. And then it just closed it. Like,
you asked for this, no?
At that moment, alarms start to go off.
Son of a...
Oh. Do you think I pulled the right one?
Yeah, I'm sure that's not for us.
Get your asses to the ship right now.
I haven't finished my second piece of pizza. Okay, I can run and eat.
A voice comes on overhead broadcast throughout the station that says, attention visitors to Ringgate 315C. Station is currently going into lockdown. Level 4 security risk. No one's coming in or off until we apprehend the culprits.
Apprehend?
To ensure your cooperation, maglocks are being engaged.
Now.
Jojo.
Yeah. How am I doing, boss?
I'm up and running.
Jojo, as you start to head to get the ship ready for a hot exit, you hear 2 loud thunks from outside of the ship, which you would recognize as the sound of maglocks being deployed on the docking bay to prevent you from leaving.
Switch the comms back on. Yeah, remember what I said about a hot exit?
Yeah, Justin,
We're dead
fucking
cold,
rip
aren't
it,
we?
rip it, baby.
Oh, in the water.
Slop that down,
Hey.
dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack
Hey,
one for
thank
the
you.
big boy.
Thank you so much for your donation. We appreciate it.
I got to turn everything off. I'll make it less suspicious, but fuck me, Captain. I'll leave to you to figure out how we get the hell out of this one.
And I think it's fair to say that at that point, Luna's going to come. You're going to see Luna from across the commissary. And it is there is a commotion building. The other people who are in the commissary, just like enjoying their food, start rising to their feet. You see them looking around. Some of them look panicked. These are just like regular spacefaring folks. Some of them are just like transport haulers. Some of them are miners. They all kind of are looking around with alarm. A few of them sound angry. A few of them are kind of like raising their voices, talking about how this is going to throw them off schedule. But yeah, from as the commotion starts from across the room, you spot Luna kind of like run into view and then stop and then start walking like nothing is wrong at all.
I go up. I'll go to Luna. Cassie was at the ship immediately. Did you not get the comm?
I sort of don't have one right now. It is a very long story, and it's one we need to travel very quickly for. I will get a new one on the ship. Let's go.
That's fine. We gotta briskly walk too. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. But
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
I've
like
got a lot to explain, and I think you all do too, because we'll talk on the ship. It's fine.
Headed back to the ship.
Yeah, we're
Does
ready.
anyone have
Let's go.
Does anyone have eyes on Luna?
Oh, I found her. We're all coming. We're all on the way.
You're going to a dead ship, but it's a better meeting place than just going off comms. I got the start of an idea, and it might be a bad one, but get to the ship. We can fucking talk.
Okay. And it doesn't take you long to get to the ship. You're moving kind of against the tide some of the time as you get into some of the tighter hallways, especially around where your ships are docked. There are people coming off of their ships, probably to complain to whoever that they can't leave.
I think Pat's gonna join in the disgruntledness just so that we're looking like it's like, yeah, we're on a ship. Rah, rah, rah. So I'm just kind of poking through that. Can't you believe it?
Cassidy, where are you? You're not with the rest of the crew, right?
No, I was on the ship,
You were
effectively holding back Horace's hair.
right.
Nevin's hair.
Right. Yes, Nevin's hair.
So-
Cool. So, Luna, you would see as you walk past the auto dock unit that looks like it has been ripped to shreds. And you see a few like security personnel and science personnel for the ring gate standing around, kind of like scratching their heads, looking baffled, looking angry.
I do not say a word, but I do look straight at Padlock.
What? Why do you assume it was me who did that?
Is it because it was done well, or is it because I had a man look at me, say that you all broke something, and try to kill me?
Well, what are the chances of the second one happening?
Oh, really high, actually. Much higher than you would think.
Amazing. Yeah. And before you know it, you are at your ship, at your airlock. The ship does have power. It still functions. It just can't leave. It physically cannot disengage from the station. Yeah. What would you like to do?
Okay. I am gonna just tuck Nevin into bed.
Seems good. Seems fair.
Yep.
Kiss him on the forehead.
Yeah, don't
He's
forget the
he's
forehead
gonna-
kiss. Very important.
I'm gonna give him a forehead kiss.
Doctor's
Sure.
orders.
Just gonna make sure he's turned to the side so he doesn't choke on his own vom, and then we're going to wait pretty much at the ramp because I have so many questions. Actually, you know what? I'm going to see if I can get any alerts about what's going on outside of my ship.
When you kiss Nevin on the head, on the forehead, he kind of looks at you very blearily. His eyes are barely open. And he says, Captain?
Get some rest.
Did you know that you are my second best friend?
I have so many questions, but thanks. I'll ask follow-up questions later. I've got to go sleep. Go sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
Night.
Second best friend. I don't. Okay. We'll ask who the first is in the morning, I guess. We'll figure it out, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm waiting at the ramp.
Yeah, and I mean, your crew is returned. I think you can see probably that Luna's hair looks a little messed up. Like maybe a little bit of it is missing, first of all. In addition to their transcom.
I literally see the look and I'm like, no, not what you think. One night
No, I know
stands
it's
are
not.
not worth it.
Okay, well, that's not true. What happened?
Oh God, where do I even start?
You can start by getting in the ship.
Yeah.
You two, inside now.
Dickie's gonna look at Padlock and be like, "We didn't do anything wrong. It's fine."
Pad knows that look from Cassidy, and Pad's like smile is like, "Oh no!" in my pork bun hat, I'm just gonna get on the ship without a second word.
Jojo has wheeled over to the area to meet everybody and is just sitting like, I leave I leave everyone alone for like what, an hour and a half to oh God, we can't have nice things.
It wasn't even me this time. Okay.
I'll add it to the tally board.
More
All
slides
right.
shut. You hear it seal itself.
Okay. I'm going to take everyone to the galley. We need to sit down. I'm not sitting down. I'm pacing because things are filtering in. Okay. So, I feel like, Luna, your thing happened second. So we're going to start with you two.
Oh.
I want you to explain to me what happened.
Well, I mean, there I was sitting, eating pork buns like I was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dickie told me that we needed to get something from there, from some place. And then he took me over to a bay and we got the stuff you asked for. And I'll like pull out just the bandolier of vials that were attached to the med bay. Just doing what you told us to do.
Okay.
Yeah, Captain, you said that you wanted me to find out about the vaccine, and the autodoc wouldn't give it to me, so I used my initiative, and Pad helped me acquire the vaccine so I can look into it.
To be fair, I told him that I couldn't hack stuff, but I mean, I got it pretty close. I pulled the alarm.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so there was an alarm.
Right,
Yeah,
but it was disabled.
I ripped it out and it stopped.
Yeah.
But it started.
Yes.
Also, there was an alarm in the first place. Okay, all right. So, here, I'm just going to spell it out for you. You done fucked up.
I was doing what you wanted me to do,
I asked you to investigate.
which I did.
You destroyed property.
Okay,
Destroying property is it's such a violent way to put it. I
I agree.
Did it still work?
Well, if you put it back together, that would take a couple of minutes to do.
Did you do that?
No.
Couple
Mm.
padlock minutes.
So you stole the vaccine.
No, it was being given away for free, so I don't think it's stealing.
You just said that they didn't give it to you.
Well,
Which means you
because
took it.
I did not fit the
Richard
profile of...
Valentina Courtney.
Oh. He
Yes,
said your full
Captain?
name.
You don't seem to quite understand. I know that I asked you to investigate, but you need to learn when you're doing things like that, what the limits are. And also, you need to communicate.
I talked to Pad.
And then you destroyed something that wasn't ours. You sounded an alarm. You didn't tell either myself or Luna.
I didn't think that I had to.
You said you talked to Cassidy.
I did. Before we got off the ship. He told me that I was supposed to investigate this. I assumed that had some leeway, and then I was going to go get pizza.
So you didn't talk to Cassidy. And I'm looking at Cassidy.
Okay. Question for you, Dickie.
Yeah.
If this scenario were to happen on Tranquility, how would that go?
Well, it wouldn't happen on Tranquility. There's no crime there, and I think we did a crime. I think I did a crime.
You
Cassidy.
did. You did.
Oh my God.
Part of me is so proud of you, and the other part of me is horrified that this happened.
Pad, can we get the vaccine back to the people?
Oh,
No.
it's far too late.
Yeah,
You know what
we're
I
done with
think?
that.
What?
We need to talk
Huh?
about that.
You know what I
Nani?
think is. You know what I think is fair right now,
Oh no.
Dickie.
Yeah?
I think you should heat your chain with the captain who's yelling at you.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. Tighten your chain.
Tiny
can't.
shame.
Oh, it's a choking?
Oh no.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, that triggers the move called the choke. So
Sure.
you're going to roll with heat. You're going to roll with the heat of that particular chain.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
Which is, let me see, 2, I want to say. Yeah. Rolling with 2. That's 10.
Is that bad?
On a 10 plus, drop whatever it is you're doing and go confront them about it right here, right now. And given the nature of your chain, I think it's fair to say that what business does this man that steals drugs
Uh-oh.
from your medical supplies that are meant for the crew have yelling at you?
I'm going to amend that slightly because I don't think that it's Cassidy who's doing it. I think it's Luna.
Sure.
But I think what ends up happening is Dickie puts his hands down on the commissary table and stands up to his full 5'8" and is like, Captain, I understand that I may have done something illegal here by whatever law exists, but I don't think that you're in any position to call me out on it, given that you allow criminals to steal from my private medical stores constantly.
I'm sorry. Have any of these thefts in the ship wound up with an entire ring gate being locked down?
They haven't, but they have caused me to spend a considerable cost of my own from the shares that I get. They have caused me to have to resupply. And I could have used that money for many other things, including I could have gotten Pad 2 pork bun hats, and I could have gotten myself a third piece of pizza.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Were you so hard up? Little piggy bank? Don't try and turn this around.
Captain, I just think it's slightly hypocritical of you to be rebuking me while you're not rebuking the person that is stealing from us and our well-being.
Who's been stealing?
I think we all know. And Dickie will just fold his little arms and stare at Luna for a minute.
Permission to step into this bullshit, Captain?
Yeah, please do tell me what happened.
Today, or the fact that our little twink doctor has decided to call me out here?
You can go right ahead.
I'll do both. Okay. First of all, as someone who also comes from tranquility, I get it. Okay? Crime doesn't happen. We want for nothing. You don't have to pay for shit. Understandable. I know that's what you grew up in because I had some blessed years there where I didn't have to do anything. Unfortunately, that's not how the world works. Or the rest of literally anywhere in the whole galaxy. You get one good planet and that's it. So yes, you did your first illegal thing today. And yes, you are allowed to panic about it because you are a pristine little man who has done nothing wrong in his life. But what you are not going to do is, first of all, shame me. That's not happening. And second of all, you'll get over it. It happens. It is too late now. You cannot give it back. Whatever medical intervention that thing is, you can now study it the way that you wanted to. And yes, you did a bad thing to do it. But sometimes bad things are necessary. And again, you will not shame me for that. Because I have done what I had to do, and I am a criminal because I had to become one.
Okay.
Second of all, your 2 stunt almost got me killed. You picked out a cyborg for me to sleep with. One that specifically is, one of those safety protocol bullshit buddies. And he got a fun little alert. Yeah, auditor, that's what they're called. He got an alert that something happened. And while I was in the galley, he decided to call me on it and say that we needed to go see my crew. I assured him it must be a misunderstanding because what in the world? And when that didn't work and he wanted to take me somewhere, a strange man, mind you, I don't know this dude, I stabbed him. And then he promptly wanted to audit me.
Okay,
Well, that's
so
2 problems.
First of all, my bad.
Thank you.
I do have a penchant for picking out cyborgs, and I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. It happens, man.
I should have known. First guess is worst guess when it comes to cyborgs. You stabbed him.
Did, yes.
Twice. So he wanted to audit you, which means he didn't die. Well, you stabbed him again. Is he dead?
Correct. No. I did it in a way that left him alive because you all have been a good influence on me. And yes, that somehow does include Dickie, that I'm supposed to value human life now. So.
Well, he was a cyborg, so you don't need to value that, right?
So now I could have killed him.
Just saying, I don't get it.
That's a whole philosophical conversation that we're not having right now.
Yeah.
I am.
Either way, I left him alive. I made sure he was breathing. I took one of their fancy tablets and I left.
Okay.
But I don't have a transcom anymore because he yanked it out.
Okay, we have another.
Yeah.
We got a couple spares. Okay. Fuck. Okay. So this is bad.
Yeah.
Solid cluster we found ourselves in.
Yeah. If we get out, like even if we manage to break the maglocks, they're gonna know we're gonna be on a wanted list, like a blatant one. You're really throwing back my timeline there, gang. Okay, Will. What are my options right now?
I mean, in what sense?
Okay, because like again, if we manage somehow to break the maglocks, we could get the fuck out of here.
Mhm.
But then they'd be like, "Hey, you over there? We're doing."
I think Jojo, who's been quiet and thinking for a second, would pipe up and say, what if they let us go? We didn't break the maglocks. They removed it for us, and they let us go.
Well, that sounds ideal.
Yeah. But how do we get them to let us go when the whole place is still on lockdown until they get those vials back?
Doctor, you said something about the vaccine, something. I remember we heard the news comm about Jupiter, their virus.
Yes, it's miners on Jupiter's moons and Jupiter.
When I was a kid and still in the talk events, you know, there would be plagues and shit that would come through, different types of dust cough, different types of, you're breathing the wrong type of air, getting stuck up there. They never gave us any fancy vaccine. Whenever they did it, they just quarantined. If there was ever any people coming to and fro, it was you just locked down a section. You didn't give anyone any vaccines, anything that cost money. So if we convince them that we're sick, that we have, and looks over at, makes eyes really quick to Cassidy. We've got somebody from Jupiter. We've got a whole bunch of vaccines. We start showing symptoms and a doctor on board who's been saying, I desperately need vaccines. And because we don't want to show that we've got someone on Jupiter here, maybe we scare them enough to get the fuck out.
Could we alter our flight logs to say that we've come from Jupiter? Is that
You're
doable?
standing next to the greatest engineer in mind that the talk stations has ever had, someone who can create a plasma cannon out of chewing gum, and two of the best criminals I've ever seen. I'm sure we can change some flight logs pretty easy.
Yeah, well, I'd certainly be willing to talk to them and let them know.
Captain?
Yeah.
It's that or shooting our way out or finding another option. And
I mean, we're not shooting our way out. That's a dead.
Yeah, that one's not.
That one's dead.
Right now.
and there's no way I can activate Puta Loca without this close in. I'd destroy the ship. I'd destroy this fucking base.
Yeah, the ring gate would also be hurt. Okay, then yeah. All right.
We've lied our way out of worse. We just got to pretend we're sick. Doctor, what are the symptoms of this flu cough?
Oh, it's significantly worse than that, but the major symptoms seem to be a paralysis of the facial muscles that cause you to smile in a very particular way. Difficulty breathing, maybe a rash.
Hey, Cassidy, give me your best grin. Give me your biggest smile. It'll get the maglocks. We just need it for a picture. Come on, Captain. Is that enough? Is that enough, Doctor? Some more.
There we go.
There you go.
That'll work.
I think it has to be.
All right, put some rash on it. Pad,
Okay.
can you whip something up to make like cosmetic or anyone? I'm not a big makeup person.
Oh, I got that.
That's
There you
Luna.
go.
Okay. Doctor, if it's not too much of an imposition, do you have anything that would make the muscles tighten temporarily?
Yes, I think I have a localized anesthetic that could replicate those symptoms temporarily.
Great. That would be wonderful. Just let me know how much that would take from your personal funds.
I'll work with Pad on the flight logs, and if we can all not kill each other before the people outside tried to kill us, I'd take it as a great personal favor, as somebody who needs to ride along with the ship.
Fine.
Sure. I'll work on my smile.
Always have a pretty smile, Captain.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a plan. You don't know how much time you have to enact this plan, so I assume everybody gets to
Quickly.
work.
Yeah, immediately to our stations.
So Luna, you are making up Cassidy so that he looks diseased. Dickie, you are going to be applying some kind of medicine, question mark, that will mimic the
I assumed
symptoms.
I was doing that to most of the crew, who is not me.
Sure.
If that's
Yeah.
okay with everyone.
Yeah.
There's all that
Nice.
Botox that you've been saving for a rainy day. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
When Dickie is doing mine, actually, can I do something?
Yeah.
It's actually not bad. I think Luna feels a little bad for how that went. I haven't used everything that I stole from Dickie last time, and they've not mentioned like why they took anything or anything like that. But before they sit down for you to do it, they just sit a box of that stuff like just down on the table. They do not say anything about it. But like when you go through it later, there's a note in the bottom of it that doesn't necessarily say that they're sorry because they don't know how to do that. But it says, I know you're the mental health expert, but if you need to talk, I'm around. L.
I think Cassidy and Pad and JoJo get a regular like injection. Luna gets a jab.
Yeah,
Who's not being gentle about it.
okay.
And like the box is just like he will put it aside and read things later once we're not being hunted by terrible androids that want to murder us. But we'll have a response, I'm sure.
And I think it's really only shortly after that you hear the distorted whine of the Tenebris's door chime. What was once the Tenebris's door chime, indicating that somebody has basically hailed you at the airlock. Somebody standing on the other side of the airlock has tried to open a line with you.
Captain, did you want me to handle this? Okay. So Dickie will put on his lab coat and stethoscope to look as doctor-y as he can, and we'll roll up. Can we get like a video comm or is it voice?
Yeah, no, absolutely you can. There's a camera. It's not angled particularly well, so you can't really see like how many people are standing outside, but you can see the person standing directly in front of the airlock, and you can see that they're wearing a security uniform for the ring gate.
Making sure you get a mask.
Yeah, really just a gray uniform, but you do see that it has the designation 315-C on the breast of it, essentially, and on the sleeves. But you also see that they have a couple weapons on the belt, mostly a sidearm, I think, and then probably like a taser. You would recognize.
Yes. Can I help you?
Tenebris.
Yes.
I'm Security Chief Malcolm.
Is there something I could do for you, Security Chief Malcolm?
Is all of your crew accounted for?
They currently are, but I'm afraid you're going to have to take my word for that. We're experiencing a minor outbreak at the moment.
Which would be
Of the... And he hesitates and tries to make it sound like he can't believe it himself. It's the Strangler virus.
I need you to roll with face.
Okay. I have a +1, so it's not terrible.
Hey, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a 9.
Okay, cool. They'll buy it, but I'm going to add one more thing first, unless somebody wants to help or the captain wants to call for help.
Yeah, we all got.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I'm gonna Luna, sell it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna like wander into the back, not like too close to the door because I'm supposed to like be conscientious, I guess, of others. But I like will wander through the background, the biggest smile on my face, like very clearly like the rash and stuff down my arms that I've painted on with makeup, like selling the whole shebang. It just like all of the symptoms that Dickie described to us. I'm trying to hit every box.
Okay. And you only need +1, so I assume that's all you're adding to this.
Yeah.
So then, Luna, you have to decide whether you are going to take 1 harm, the room is going to take 1 harm, something important is going to break, you heat your chain with Dickie, or the chain between the two of you titans.
I don't really know what I did earlier that would affect the chain because we didn't talk about it. But I assume something probably happened with that. I will go ahead and I'll heat it up. I think that's probably what makes the most sense.
Okay. So then you are going to heat your chain. Yeah, it's going to go up from 2 to 3.
Or no, I just changed it. It went from 1 to 2.
Oh, okay,
Sorry.
perfect. Okay, no problem. Cool. So that goes up. You get +1. That is a 10. With that description, I think you see Malcolm take a step back from the door, as if it would be possible to catch it through an airlock, which of course it's not, but it's an involuntary reaction. It says, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that Dickie is like, yeah, it's very touch and go here at the moment. So the more time I'm talking to you, the less time I have to try and treat these patients of mine.
Understood. Appreciate your caution for the good of everybody's health on the station.
Jojo rings on the hollow just real quick. See if we can get him out. Let's get him out.
Before Malcolm leaves, Dickie is like, we heard something about a lockdown. We had just stopped to quickly refuel before I can take my patients back to my medical practice. So is there any chance that we can continue on so we don't have to worry about quarantine for you and your station?
He doesn't particularly look like he's leaving, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
But when you say that, he's going to say, well, now, that depends, Tenebris. Logs indicate that you have a crew member on board by the name Luna Larson.
I don't believe I actually have anyone on board by that name. At least not according to the medical records I have.
Well, then, it sounds like your logs are out of date.
I could transmit new ones to you right now.
Wouldn't be responsible of us to let you keep moving on through the rail network without correcting the error. So, seeing as how your crew is sick, I think what we'll have to do is I'll hold you here in quarantine, unfortunately, till it's safe to get in and take a look around and update those records.
We have things that hide people, correct?
I don't
Like
think you do.
we have bolt holes, right?
You do have
Mhm.
bolt holes.
Dicky be like, I don't. Okay, well, are you vaccinated?
No.
Do you have protective gear? Full body suit. I do have one of those on board that's been sealed and is not has not been contaminated by the virus. If I sent that to you and you did a sweep of the ship now, would that be enough?
Seems to think about that for a second. Well, suppose it would be.
Excellent. I'll run the suit through another decontamination round, and then I will have it put on the docks for you. 2 seconds. And then Dickie will close the comm and be like, Luna, bolt hole.
Got it. And I'm grabbing my bag with the tablet and stuff in it and taking it with me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can grab your stuff, and you were just going to duck into that bolt hole. Which, where is that on the ship?
I feel like it's between the engine room and like the part leading up into that.
Yeah, probably somewhere where like the ship joints are, and there's a looser area that we all know.
Also, it's where the two different parts of the ship mingle, so the smell is strange.
Yeah. I think we have like some sort of protocol of like, okay, Jojo lies, you put the person in, Jojo lies down the carpet and like rolls over it to make sure it looks good. And like, yeah, it's relatively a benign space.
Yeah, and Luna, I think it's safe to say that it is a fucking sauna.
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
it is so hot.
Yeah.
I want to die every time I'm in this room. Like I take off my jacket and like ball it up and sit on top of it, so that way it's like a little bit more cushion than the floor, not by much, but it's something. And I like just hug my bag to my chest and keep my head down and my breathing slow. And I cannot believe that I have to put my faith in Dickie right now, of all people. I'm putting it there.
Can we put Nevin in Luna's room?
Yeah.
Yes,
for sure.
Cool.
Just so that all of the bunks look filled.
Pat and Joe are probably also like updating ship logs, like a very similar protocol of like, okay, X everything out, make everything real quick.
And these are logs I think actually you would not be able to modify just because these are like rail network records.
Okay, not
like
just
this is your crew
file
manifest that they have in their system.
Got it.
Indicates that there is a crew member named Luna Larson on board. Okay. So then maybe about 20 minutes or so later, the door to your ship, the seal breaks, door slides open, and Security Chief Malcolm steps in wearing that protective suit that you were so kind to provide for him. You can see his face on the other end of the pane of the little window. It's kind of fogging up as he breathes. He flinches when he sees the rest of the crew with your kind of like awful rigor mortis smiles. It's clearly like worse than he thought it was going to be. Looks very not a fan of it. But he's going to step into the ship and start looking around. There's a clear air of disapproval about him as he does so. Your ship is not up to his standards. It's clear to you.
You'll have to forgive the mess. Things have taken a bit of a downhill turn since the crew started displaying symptoms.
Sure. Not at all. It's homey.
Was there anywhere I could take you, or is this something you do on your own? I'm sorry, I'm not really, I'm not really used to these sort of inspections.
I'll take a look around until my curiosity is satisfied. The rest of this manifest is correct?
Yes, Mischief is still the owner of the ship. Cassidy is still the captain. Jojo is still in the engine room, and Padlock is still our resident. Well, Padlock.
He starts looking around. He starts scouring the ship, walking around, looking for it. And before too long, he's walking across the grated floor connecting the two sections of your ship, under which sit your bolt holes. You hear the footsteps falling, Luna, over your head. Who was it who took charge of putting Luna here and disguising it?
I believe that was Jojo.
That was Joe.
It's Joe?
Yeah.
So then, Joe, I need you to roll 2d6 plus the size of your bolt holes, which is 1. So 2d6 plus 1.
The worst part is that it landed on a 6 on my mic cable and it flipped over to a 1.
Mhm.
That is a 5. I would need
No.
I would need 2. I did request help, and I hate to fucking say it, but I was requesting help from Padlock when we were doing this.
Hell yeah.
I think that makes sense.
How much do we need to finagle just to get to 7, just to not get to complete fucking failure?
I mean, you only need 2. You only need plus 2.
Okay.
So that can be provided by Padlock. You just have to pick multiple consequences.
And we're choking, and anything that happens to you
You're
happens
choking.
to me.
Yes. And if you take 1 harm, you take 2 harm instead.
Okay. Amazing.
And subtract the higher of the 2 heats between the crew members to the roll being helped. So...
Oh, shit. That's what I was worried about, was the 3, right?
What is your heat?
3.
Oh, yeah, you
So it
guys
would
are...
be 5, and that's a lot.
Oh no. Okay.
That is a
I don't know
lot.
I don't know
What
how
are
much
we
math
at?
is possible on that one.
What
That's
are
rough.
we at? Okay. Where? Hey. Can I help?
You can, in the sense that you can use Alpha Dog, which just forces a crew member to help. I mean, you can also be the one to help. But
Jess is the
yeah.
one to help. It's 2. Actually, our tightness is slack. So
Okay.
that would help
that
a
would
lot.
be easier. That would be better.
Okay. I think it would make sense that Cass would see Joe very much fumbling, trying to get everything into, like, get Luna in. Like, I think also, as much as Joe's exterior is tough, you know she fully cracks under, like, pressure or anything.
So I think definitely is going to be like, no, okay. Breathe. Keep it together. Okay? You got this.
Okay.
We got this. Okay.
I hate this shit. Okay.
Hey, you're not the one in the little hole. Remember that.
Not in the hole, not in the hole, not in the hole.
Not in the
Happy
hole.
faces,
Okay.
happy faces.
All right.
So
And I
you
just
roll
kind
a
of want
5, correct?
I rolled a 5. With
And-
Cassidy, I have a 2, so the heatness would drop to 3.
Well, it's the lower of the two heats. Since you're slack, add the lower of the two heats between the crew members to the roll being helped. So the lower of your two heats is 1.
1.
So that would be 6.
So that would be 6. So you only need 1 more to get to a 7. But if you're trying to get to a 10,
That's 4.
then it's harder, yeah. So the question is, are you getting a partial success, or are you trying to go for a full success?
So we need 4. Yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
You can. Okay, we haven't done the rolls yet to fix the engine, but we do have technically. It's risking it, but if we wanted to fuck the no, bolt holes is its own room. It's not the engine.
It
room.
is, yeah.
Okay. Let me jump over to the ship sheet real quick.
Oh no. Hey, listen, we're gonna get you out, Luna. Maybe the bolt hole. Maybe the bolt hole is a little broken.
We
Like-
might have damaged the bolt hole a little bit, breaking it and like making it look normal. Just a
Mhm.
JoJo like fully ripping into things.
Okay. And
But
then
if
I
we
want
do
to
2
see
there and a harm, that's 3. And we could tighten our chain.
Yeah.
Joe feels like she's disappointing the captain so fucking bad, and that's what I think is heating the chain. Is this like, as much as she has this like, I crack under pressure, I can't do this, like it is like once again Cass is saving JoJo, and I think that's the repetition of like, how many times is Cassidy going to save her?
Right. And he's just like, it's fine. We're fucking crew. This is what we do. Why are you freaking out about this? Like, there's the frustration of like, he can see the cogs turning. He's like, you need to pull it together.
So I think I
All right.
missed it. 7 or 10?
10.
We're going 10.
You're going 10. Okay, so
We're going 10.
you're heating your chain,
Yeah.
or tightening your chain, rather.
Tightening.
Tightening chain.
Tightening your chain. That's 1.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do 2 bolt holes.
You're going to do 2 harm to the bolt holes?
I believe was discussed. Yeah.
Okay.
Us wrecking
Mhm.
shit on the bolt holes
That's fine.
to fix. And then we discussed 1 harm. Do we
I'll
want
take the harm.
Well, 2 harm to the bolt holes and tightening your chain is 3.
I had 6. We got up to 6, so we needed 4 to get to 10.
You're
Yeah,
right.
so
You're right. Okay.
So
cool.
yeah, I'll take the
All right.
harm.
Okay.
I think that in
Um,
the rush to get Luna in, something sparks, probably busted off from JoJo freaking out, and that's what causes Cassidy to like have the harm.
Okay. I think that makes sense. This could also be like if you're just marking 1 harm, then that's just shaken, scraped, or bruised. So you could just be shaken.
Mhm.
Also, it doesn't have to be physical injury. You could just be real stressed about this as he steps over it. You hear him kind of like you see him. He's walking over this. He stops. He looks down at this rug under his feet, picks up his foot, and stomps a couple times, listening to hear how it sounds.
Mhm.
Oh, my grandmother gave me that rug. If you could be careful.
He looks at you. And then he looks at you, Cassidy. And he opens his mouth.
Mhm.
And we're going to take a quick break because it's just
Stop it.
about
You mother
9:40.
fucker.
So
How dare you?
Why are you so mean?
we'll be back in about 10 short minutes. Don't go anywhere. Find out what happens. It's out of order. What did I say? Let's dive back on in.
Yes, I think
You're
that's
doing
I've-
great, sweetie.
I only heard the I didn't hear the on, so you're fine. Probably.
Cool.
that's okay. It's all good.
Nobody heard that. It's fine. It's fine. If you did, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
So, where did we leave off again?
The guy was about to say words.
You know exactly where
You
we
know
left
exactly
off.
where.
We were let
Leave.
go. We are.
We're free.
going
We
away.
we did it.
That
Yeah.
doesn't sound right.
We did
No,
it.
I think it is.
It sounds
We-
like
listen,
gaslighting, Will.
We sacrificed.
Quit trying to gaslight me when I'm lying to you. Yeah, absolutely. He does look at you, Cassidy, and since you were the one that helped, what does he say?
we good. We. I don't know if you know this. This fucking sucks.
He looks down again. What exactly is under us right now? He's just asking that question generally.
Just the beginning of the propulsion. There's a lot leading.
I think it's where we reverse the polarities.
Yeah.
These are the main joints of the ship that connect our main engine room to the rest. If you look at the basically is going to go into technobabble of yeah.
Yeah.
He's listening. Yeah, he's listening. He's a station jockey. He doesn't not know about ships. And he'll listen for a while, but he kind of looks down and he looks at the data pad in his hands, and after a while he kind of shakes his head and says, "All right, well, I'm not here for an inspection, but I'd maybe get these joints looked at. Welding might be faulty. It doesn't sound solid.
Thank you, sir.
Ship like this wouldn't surprise me if they'd cut corners."
Extra
you-
wide smile,
Like you wouldn't believe. I'd show you the sound system, but it's gone. So
All
quickly.
right. One last question.
not the Columbo.
One last thing. It's been bugging me. Whatever happened to Luna Larson? When they leave your crew, where'd they leave your crew? Any information you can give me?
Unfortunately, Luna didn't make it.
You're telling me Luna Larson's not on your crew manifest anymore because they
She
died.
died
Dead.
from this.
Yes, I am a talented doctor, but their symptoms came on too quickly for me to do anything. We put their body in the escape pod and gave them the best
Airlock.
send-off that we could. Or the airlock, yes. Gave them the best send-off we could.
Well, shame.
Yes, it was. Luna was a dear friend.
Pat's gonna just start fake crying. pull out a handkerchief,
Incredible.
walk away.
She's just gonna. Hey, no, I know. You just close.
I'm sorry, I didn't
be
mention it
warned.
before, but the subject is it's a difficult one for the crew.
She was a good friend. We miss her dearly.
Just gonna wheel Pat away. Just
Wow.
like no.
Mhm.
None of my business. Sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Everything else seems in order. We'll update your crew logs.
Thank you. That's much appreciated.
Hesitates, clearly not knowing what to say in the situation, says, feel better.
Well,
If we don't die.
we're working on it.
Hey, I'm still standing. So
I think Dickie might move to like start escorting him off of the ship, and as he's doing so, we'll give the equivalent of technobabble for medical babble,
Mhm.
and be like, if you start experiencing temperature spikes between 3 and 4 degrees over the next 1 to 5 hours, you do want to intake more fluids. Watch for rashes on these parts of your bodies, and if you start finding things very funny, seek help immediately.
Well, I think I'll be all right. We still got plenty of working auto dock units here on the ring gate. Even the one that got busted up.
Oh, well, you know how it is with auto docs. Sometimes you really should trust a real doctor.
Well,
I'd
in this
hate to think
case,
what would
it
have
was
happened.
it was just criminals.
Oh, well, I've heard about criminals out here. They're very bad and not to be trusted. So,
Not like these criminals.
Oh,
Doc, don't talk the man's ear off.
okay. I'm not. I'm getting him to the airlock.
I mean, he actually looks pretty content to like gossip with you. He kind of
My
like,
God.
as you're walking with him, he kind of like looks one way, looks the other way, like he's not sure if you should say this. And he says, "You want to hear something real crazy?"
As much as Dickie knows he should say no and get this man off the ship, Dickie is absolutely like, yeah, yes. You don't know what it's like to travel out here without any other human contact beyond the people that you're trying to treat. Yes, please.
They jumped an auditor.
I think Dickie's face goes blank. It's like, oh, are those the people from Earth?
Yep. Those are them.
Oh,
Those are them.
I'm sorry, I'm not from Earth.
He's fine now, regained consciousness, but sounds like they were real ugly, unsavory types. Took off as soon as it happened.
Oh, well,
according to him anyway.
I'm sure the auditor was just doing his job. Yes, well, I hope that you goodbye, and then Dickie will gesture for the door, and as soon as he steps out, we'll. Oh, also, I'm going to confirm that we can leave.
Yeah. Minimum 24 hours for those maglocks. Disengage. We do have to do our due diligence, so you're gonna be here for a little while, but it says right here on the manifest that you're down for refueling anyway, so.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Captain Malcolm. And do stay healthy out there.
You do the same. Hope no one else dies.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Do my best. Yeah, you too.
And the door slides shut. Seals itself.
Okay. Dickie will scurry back to the rest of them. I think we're okay. It's there's the maglocks have to cycle or something. I don't understand it, but sounds like we'll be good to go then. It did sound like the person that Luna attacked woke up.
Well, I don't know if that's good or bad. Probably not great. Okay.
I don't either, but Luna is officially no longer on our registry, so.
Which means I'm gonna need a fake name in case someone else audits, or someone else comes on here and tries to check out the crew, and then you have an extra person.
Well, you'll be.
She's not going to stay in the bolt hole.
No.
I can't sit in the hole forever.
Please don't make me do that again. I don't think I can.
No. It's musty down there. Please don't make me sit down there anymore.
Okay. All right. Let me get.
Well, Captain, could we process a new hire while we're on the station?
On the station? No, we'll do it when we get where we're going next. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna, Pad. I'm gonna need you to do some
Are we-
fitting on that.
Oh. Okay.
I made it fit.
I got it. I'll pull out like a crowbar or something. And start.
All right, and then we're gonna get Luna out of the bolt hole.
Cool. And around the time that happens, you hear a couple of thunks on the outside of your ship, which I think you would pretty quickly recognize as probably refueling lines automatically attaching themselves. And then you hear your what should be your onboard systems announcing that refueling is in progress, but I think yours is in pretty bad shape, so it's at like right, yeah, it's at like negative speed.
Okay. One of these days, we're gonna actually have time to like go into all this wiring and something. I don't know yet. Okay. My cheeks fucking hurt, and I'm done with all of this. So, since I didn't actually get to bar crawl all that much, I'm going to go drink in my room.
I already have a flask in my hand.
Enjoy your makeover, Luna. I'm gonna try and patch up the engineering room.
So you have Bandolier of the Vaccine. You have the data pad that you stole from the auditors. You have the weird symbol that you copied from the back of the other data pad that you didn't take.
I think Dickie is going to linger while Padlock is working on the bolt hole. That is hard to say.
It is hard to say.
Hole.
The bolt hole.
Bolt hole.
Just sort of like I don't know if Pat is able to focus on something that isn't the bolt hole, but I think Dickie maybe wants. He's like, is it?
I'm like whacking it.
Right.
And
Every time Dickie starts talking, there's a bam. I didn't mean to get you into trouble. By the way.
I think after a couple more whacks, I think Pad will slow down on the last one. I'm not even looking at you. I think Pad is going to be like, why did you tell me that Cassidy said that this was okay to do?
I thought that when Cassidy said that he wanted me to investigate the vaccine, that there was an assumption that I was supposed to do what I needed to do to get the vaccine. So I didn't know that I was supposed to check in, so I just assumed that it was okay.
But Cassidy's our captain. He's supposed to be the one who says that.
I realize that now. I don't think I should have taken initiative in that way, and I'm sorry that I roped you into it.
I'm getting the impression, Dickie, that you don't like to get it or know how to get in trouble. And I am very aware of I'm very aware of like who like Luna is, and even like what Cassidy's done. And trouble isn't necessarily the problem, but you didn't put trust in the one person I think you should absolutely put trust in, and that's Cassidy. Um, I, you know, I've gotten in trouble a lot myself along the way, um, and things like that. But Cassidy's the only one who ever came back for me, and I know that's not a lot, but to me, that's the world. And if you can't put faith in somebody, that's a hell of a lot of loneliness in this small ass little galaxy. So it's okay, but you should figure that out. And then Pat's gonna jump into that bowl.
Just disappearing like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Full swan dive. Just
And then you start hearing like things starting to rustle around in there.
I think Dicky stands there for a little bit longer, getting very, very red. And then he will just sort of like nod to himself and will stalk back to his med bay to have a look at those vaccines. Because
I think as soon as Dicky starts walking out, that's when Pat kind of like peeks back up over that just to know that Dicky kind of left. And then we'll just, they're they kind of like shake their head like in their nervous tick way, and then just kind of slink back into the hole.
Incredible. So you have a little bit of time here, Dicky. You are going to be analyzing the vaccine to see what you can find. Jojo, I assume you're going to be working on repairing
Yep.
the rooms. Yep. Cool. Well, let's start with that because that's pretty straightforward. You have a move specifically that lets you do that. You do have to spend some scrap, which you should have.
I believe I do. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to remember. It's 1 credit worth of scrap. So I have 25 credit, or the ship has 25 credits. So the machinist is, you repair something, you can repair a ship's room like any other object, spend 1 credit in scrap, roll plus brains. Yeah.
Very cool. Though I do believe, keep in mind, the 25 is before you've paid to refuel and stuff.
Ew, good to know.
I believe.
The fun thing about the machinist is if I roll 10 plus, I get a harm done and I get the credit back. So it's possible we don't spend anything, but also...
Yeah, and you do have some personal scrap in your inventory. You have scrap worth 2 credit.
Oh, sweet. I will then absolutely spend my own scrap first before I break into the cruise.
Cool.
I see that now. Cool.
Very cool, yeah. So let's start with that. You are working on fixing the engine room. You're going to spend that credit, and then you're going to roll with brain.
Yes. All right. Plus my brain is a 2, but so that's an 6, 8.
Okay.
So I repair 1 point of harm.
But you are spending that scrap, yeah.
But I'm spending that scrap. That's fine with me.
Cool.
Cool. If I scrap the 2 credit one, can I roll twice to see? Because I have a scrap worth 2 and a scrap worth 1.
You have credits worth 1.
Oh,
So you have scrap worth 2, and then you have sticks, it says, worth 1 credit. But basically you have scrap worth 2 credit, and then actual money worth 1 credit.
Totally fine. Gotcha. I will take
But you can spend your second credit of scrap if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
So that's going to use up all your scrap, but you can roll again.
Yeah, I'll pick up scrap on the next thing. We find a ship, we scavenge.
Do a job, get paid.
Joe job. That is a 12, so I actually get that back.
Yeah, so you get to keep that. You get to keep that, and you have completely repaired the engine room.
Yeah. Anyone who comes through would hear like the thumping sounds of the engine finally working. You'd see JoJo on her stilts, like fully up there and fully just in her element now, like just sweating but cigarette going out there looking like a Chicago chef. Just fully line cook, like energy in the engine room.
Incredible. Love that. All right. And so you yeah, you fix the engine room. You spend your time fixing the engine room. Dickie, you were examining the vaccine.
Yes.
I don't think you have a move that lets you do that specifically, so I think this is going to be analyze something.
Which is brain?
Yes.
My brain is 2, so that is 9.
Okay, you can hold 2. What's something unusual or abnormal? What's a hidden feature? How much is it worth to the right person? Who touched or operated it most recently? Where did it come from? Who made it originally?
I'd start with any hidden features that it might have.
Okay. Any hidden features? Yeah, you break out your microscope and you are examining a few drops of this vaccine, a few drops of this liquid to look into it. And as we all know, vaccines contain an element of the virus that they're meant to cure. And I think when you dig deep and look in, at first you doubt what you see because it seems outlandish. But I think you discover a protein strand within the virus contained within the vaccine that makes it inordinately easy to cure. It's kind of like locking something in a safe with the code taped to the outside.
With the question who made it originally, can I see if I think viruses have RNA, right? If the RNA of the virus is man-made or human-made or synthesized in any way?
In fact, I think you do discover that. I think you do discover that this particular virus was cooked up in a lab somewhere.
I think Dicky sort of like slides the microscope to the side, and there are only a few places that probably could have cooked something like this up, right? Like there aren't going to be that many contenders for where this came from.
Yes. So it depends. If you're talking about the vaccine, that is definitely the case because of production.
Okay.
If you're talking about the virus itself, that's essentially just making a bioweapon, and
okay,
there's a much longer list of people who could theoretically do that.
Okay. I think Dicky's gonna get on the comm, be like, Captain,
Yeah.
I know that you're in your medically mandated captain time right now, but there's something about this vaccine that I think we need to talk about.
Yeah, okay. I will make my way over.
I think on your way, you pass the bunks and the door slides open to Luna's room. And a very bleary, out of sorts, discombobulated looking Nevin Westcott, peeks out at you. I think I sleepwalked.
No, we put you there.
What was wrong with
With
where I was?
my bed, I wasn't in it, but also we had a slight detour. So we needed to put you somewhere away.
Where are we then?
We're still on the ring gate.
I see. When you said detour,
Yeah, sorry. We've had a delay. But we should be good to go within 24 hours.
I have Captain Star Runner. I've given it some thought. Speaking of detours,
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer not to go to Tranquility with you.
Oh, why not, bestie? Tired of hanging out with me?
Don't think that I can provide much for you or the crew. I'm not skilled in the ways that you are, but I might be able to do something to help the people of Mars.
So, you want us to drop you off on Mars?
Told you that you'd be delivering the package to a scientist named Maeve Delaney. I would like to be dropped off at Independence so we can start our work together.
Okay. Is this just a working relationship or?
Yes.
Okay. Independence. It'll cost you.
Is that not within the scope of our deal?
You're adding stops. Also, I'm kidding. So serious. No need. Ha, ha. Oh, finally. Ah, okay, it broke. You're not in the business of bioweapons, right?
No,
Okay.
not bioweapons.
Okay. No. Okay. I'm gonna go talk to the doctor.
Should I stay in this room?
No, you can go back to mine.
Looks like he's thinking about saying something.
What?
Then-
What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?
Nothing?
No, there was something. I saw that face. What's that?
Wasn't sure where you would be sleeping.
I mean, if you want company, I can join you.
That's not what I wasn't saying that. I was just,
You're also not saying no.
I just was asking question. It's your ship. I'm sure you'll find somewhere.
I notice you've still skirted around that answer, Nevin, but it's all good. Spin
Good
around
night,
and walk back.
Captain.
Good night, Horace.
And you finish your journey to the med bay, where
Yes.
you find Dickie waiting for you.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna do that, like, lean on the frame and then swing in.
Fucking menace.
Yep. What do you got for me?
Well, the long and short of it is, I think the vaccine works, as far as I can tell, but the virus seems to be manufactured.
Oh shit.
Yes, that was a variation of my first reaction as well.
I was joking when I said that to Nevin. So, really, bioweapon. Cool. Okay.
So, good news is, from what I can tell, the virus is easily negated by the vaccine, or the cure. It, if you're able to get it in time, then
Hold
Sorry,
on.
let me clarify real quick.
Okay, yes.
So the vaccine is effective.
Okay.
The vaccine is not as effective as it could be because of that specific protein strand.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
So it is effective, but it's also been hampered in its effectiveness.
Okay.
Which I'd like to think that I don't have a cynical outlook, but I can't really think of why anyone would do something like this beyond purposeful infection and then selling vaccines.
Okay. Is there anything else in it?
Just the standard, like, I assume it's like there's mostly the standard sort of whatever's. It's just the structure of the virus and the antibody or whatever in it.
Yeah,
That's
the rest of
strange.
the makeup is basically to just like help it be absorbed by the body.
No, that's the only unusual part about it.
Okay. Okay. Have you been able to isolate the virus?
Yes.
Okay. What's the bad part about that? Other than that, it's a virus.
Well, it is quite deadly if the infection is allowed to run its course. And of course, being man-made, that means that someone created this. That means also presumably they could create something worse if the vaccines start working. They basically can control infection rates, I would assume.
Right. And this was happening on Jupiter, yeah?
Yes.
specifically on the moons.
The mine. Yeah,
on
on the
the
moons.
mining moons. You have family there.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that when I was speaking about this earlier. I'm very sorry.
We hadn't had that chat yet, Dickie.
No, but I still think that I have managed to disappoint you several times today. And I just wanted to apologize for the insensitivity and the crime. I should have trusted you, and I should have spoken to you about what I was doing.
Do you know why I was upset?
Was it the lack of trust?
You're a grown man. I know that you are smart. You know a lot of stuff, Dickie. But you haven't lived outside your bubble.
No. Not really, although there are no pizza pits on Tranquility. So, I like to
Yeah,
think
that's because it's bad for you, Dick.
it tastes so good.
Yeah, absolutely. The best things do. I was upset because there was no communication. Because you didn't consider the options.
I'm sorry, I got focused on the task at hand. I just wanted to make you proud of me.
Dickie, it took 3 years for me to start actually calling you Dickie.
It's true.
Do you know why? Because I viewed you as someone that I trust and respect. I'm already proud of you.
Okay, well, I think that's a very good talk, Captain. Is there anything else? Dickie is getting very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yep.
I want you to take a sample of my blood.
Okay.
And I want you to see what the effects are when it is put into contact with the virus.
I can do that. Also, while you're here, you didn't vault into the med bay with your usual enthusiasm. Are you hurt?
No, I'm good. It's been a long night. It's been a long, I don't even know what time it is right now. It's been a very long period of time, and I am not drunk enough for any of it.
Very well. So Dickie will very quickly and efficiently take a sample of Cassidy's blood. And then I will let you know what I find out.
Okay.
And I have a transcom, and I will use it in the future.
Good boy. And he's going to leave the med bay.
Okay. Very cool. Do you want to check in on Padlock? Because Padlock, you were going to try to fix the bolt hole.
Yes.
But unfortunately, you are not actually qualified to do that.
Never
You can
am.
repair things, but in order to repair ship's rooms, you do need that machinist move, which comes from the greaser playbook. So with advancements, you can take that move, but as it stands right now, I think you're kind of just like staring at the bolt hole and sort of like at a loss.
Yeah. I've whacked it as many times as I could, and it
Exactly.
didn't come up. It didn't get fixed, and I'm just like, well, that's all I can do.
So Jojo, as you're finishing working on the engine, I think you just hear clanging from outside.
I was on mute, but that's exactly what I was saying. Was like, I imagine that after that, I'm just Jojo hears the clanging and is like, "What? Did I do that? No, that's Pad's clanging," and like ratchets herself down from like 10 feet to 6 feet to her actual like 5'6". Ratchets herself into sitting position, puts herself in the wheelchair, and rolls herself over. It just looks, and she just like just chuckles a little bit to herself and then whistles. Dude, what you doing, Pad?
So it's not. I, I have
Yeah?
a vision, but I can't execute the vision, and
Uh-huh.
this thing is broken, and I can't fix it. I think it's stripped, but it also could just be dented. And I'm gonna start whacking it again.
Okay, well, yeah. Sure, will. Okay. She kind of looks at the misshapen rods and is like, "Okay, I know you're an inventor, and this is when you fix things, it's on a micro level. When you try to fix a ship, a whole building room, and she wheels back a little bit and says, "No, come here," and tries to like give a wider perspective of the room to try and like be like, "Okay, you see this misshapen bar here? That's a support beam. Being able to it being bent like that means that the amount of force being applied will just crack it immediately. If you just hit it," and then points.
Slowly pull up the crowbar.
So if
when you
you
say dent it,
you dent it right and points out a point to where like if you hit it structurally, it would actually make it stronger. It's like, now hit that part.
yeah, I'll like give them like a double look and then start whacking it in an effective way.
Yeah, I Joe like starts directing a little bit and like commenting on the various progress. As the whacking goes on, I think she looks over suspicious and then just at one point goes, I think especially like at one point seeing the clanging and all the damage they're doing, they flash back to being stabbed by the screwdriver, and they recoil a little bit instinctually.
Was that not how I was supposed to whack that?
No, hey, you feeling all right? You that's rattling. You okay?
Yeah. Well, I think Cassidy's mad, and
I don't know. Cassidy's captain, and if he's mad at you, he's gonna tell you that he's mad at you. So if he hasn't told you that he's mad at you, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
yeah, I keep breaking stuff too much. I guess maybe that's is that a problem?
Well, from the way I heard it, you got asked to do something, and you did it to the best
Yeah,
of your
but
ability.
I break things a lot, and like so far, like nobody's really said that was necessarily a problem until today. Do I break things too much?
Her heart breaks a little bit and just goes, "Nah, Pat, when you break things, it's because I don't know. I can't understand the wiring of your brain, but to me, it looks like you're just trying to figure out how to put things back together again. So, I don't know if it's just breaking things, but yeah, sometimes you break things, but knowing you're always ready to fix them just as quick.
I want to. I mean, things fit better when you can see, I guess, from a bigger perspective. As I kind of like point at the
Yeah.
the porthole. What's up?
You remember the fight when those guys came in?
The ones you pushed?
Yeah. Yeah, the ones I pushed. Ones came in, broke through the doors. What do you remember of that?
Well, they came in, they're being real assholes,
Yeah.
and then
Sucked.
they shot you, but then you pushed them, and then the next thing I remember, everybody showed up. So obviously everything was okay.
I pushed them.
Yeah, I don't fight.
Padlock, I think you're something special. You know that?
Thank you.
Hey, I probably am gonna need time to reinforce the rest of this stuff, so more than welcome to still come and assist, but you don't have to stay here. I can take it from here if you want to do whatever.
I can always help. I'm a pretty good welder, no matter what that guy said. I don't know what he said, but I know how to weld, and that was a solid weld.
I think
But at least I could.
She just laughs. Yeah, I could use the help. I could use I could use your legs.
Great.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Yeah. And go run off to go grab the welding kit and start hauling it back.
Art. And I mean, that leaves most of the crew accounted for, except the recently deceased Luna Larson.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. indeed.
Pouring out for a
Rip.
real one.
Yep. The closest they will ever get to attending their own funeral.
It's true. Luna, what are you doing? And where are you doing it?
I think I'm back in my room now that Nevin's been kicked out. I think for a while they just sort of sit and stare at a wall and they're not sure what to do. Because obviously Luna Larson is effectively dead. And what do you do with that information? So I think part of the time that they spend, they actually start writing down new names. And after they find a few that they like, they'll go into the system and just start looking them up to make sure none of them are like wanted criminals or anything like that. They'll pick their favorite one and then they'll keep the list as a backup in case this happens again. You never know. And then I think after that is going to move on to trying to research that symbol on the back of that data pad that I took.
Okay, this is going to be pretty straightforward, but I do think I still need you to roll with brain to analyze something.
It's fine. Oh, that is fantastic. That's an 11.
Nice. All right, you have 3 holds technically, so you can ask questions, but I don't know that you're going to need more than 1 for this. Well, yeah, you're researching the symbol, so you get 3 questions. Let's start with that. What's something unusual or abnormal? What's a hidden feature? How much is it worth to the right person? Who touched or operated it most recently? Where did it come from? Who made it originally? And we'll probably have to use these somewhat freeform
Mhm.
But for example, like we can interpret like what's a hidden feature to be like what's the symbol mean.
Yeah. I think I want to start with that.
Cool. Makes sense. It does not take you long to place it because it does look familiar to you. Doesn't take you long before you realize this is the astrological symbol for Aries.
Okay. Can I figure out if that's connected to like a certain group or a certain government system or
You have 2 more holds that you can spend on questions. What's something unusual or abnormal might apply to that, but I think honestly what I'm gonna have to do is answer this question with kind of a non-answer, which is that you don't find anything, which does give you some information.
Mhm.
Lets you know that whatever this is, it's probably top secret.
Yeah. Okay, I get one more question. I kind
You
of know
do.
what I want to do after this, but I get one more question first. Um, I'm assuming if I do where it came from, that's not super helpful in this instance. Yes.
Um, well, it was on the back of that data pad,
Hmm.
which was in the possession of an auditor or a group of auditors.
Yeah.
Who are basically the muscle for the Earth Coalition
Yeah.
party. So whatever this thing is, it's probably top secret, and it's probably coming from the Earth Coalition party.
Mm.
And I think as you are pondering that information and going through this on your data pad, you are startled when you hear a man's voice from your doorway that says, "You look pretty spry for a dead person." You look up,
Uh,
and you see Sawyer standing there. There are bandages wrapped around his neck.
okay. Well, lesson learned. I should have killed you the first time. Why? Why are you on my ship? How did you get on my ship without setting off alarms? And also, is there a reason that you lied and said it was some big scary like group or dude or whatever it was? I don't know. I was in hiding. I couldn't really hear. But uh yeah, you didn't own up to it being me, right?
You want me to answer those in order?
I mean, preferably, but if you can't, I guess whatever order will suffice.
I'm just here to talk. I wouldn't be much of an auditor if I couldn't get on a ship like this undetected. And I lied because I could. Because you broke my kill switch.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I guess you did. Look, I don't think you deserve to die for what your crew members did. When you attacked me,
appreciate
it
that.
activated my routines.
Fair enough.
For what it's worth, I'm glad you stopped me.
For what it's worth, I'm glad I did too. And I'm glad I left you alive.
That's not what you said 30 seconds ago.
Well, 30 seconds ago, I thought you were here to try to kill me again, so.
No. If an auditor shows up at your doorway in the future, it's not because they want to kill you. If they did, they do it in your sleep.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll have our tactics, I guess. I'm a little more, look you in the eye while I do it. But
Must be nice.
some of us are trained that way.
Listen, once we get to where we're going, it's going to be back to business as usual for me. Kind of lifts his hand to press it against the bandages around his throat. So, I don't know exactly what it is that you're doing out here. I just figured I should give you a heads up that I'm not going to be able to be your man on the inside or whatever.
That's all right. You don't have to be. I do have one question, though.
What's that?
This symbol. And I show him the drawing I made. What's that?
You are so incredibly safer not knowing.
I don't think I've been safe in over a decade.
I believe you. You don't understand. This is. Please just trust me when I. Please just trust me when I say that you should forget that you ever saw that. You will lead a much longer, much happier life.
Well, then I should probably at least give you the advice that if you're gonna bring people to have a one night stand on your ship, that you should put it away, not leave it on the counter.
And you'd be right to say that. I am gonna need that back, though. He will
What, the
point to
drawing?
No, he'll point to the data pad that you did steal.
And why is that?
Because I have told the rest of my crew a lot of lies. So far, they all believe them. I get jumped. No harm done. I'll be better by tomorrow. Auto dock unit gets torn to shreds. Doesn't matter to us. Encrypted Earth Coalition data pad goes missing and can't be accounted for. That's another level.
I mean, you could always just say the guy that jumped you took it.
I could. But then guess what we'd be doing?
Going after a guy that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There you go. Think of it as a vacation. You don't even have to work. You know it's a lie.
I think you are real interesting. And I enjoyed 95% of our time together.
I would say 95% is a good number.
But I can't walk away without that.
Can you let me into it? Just a peek It's not like I'm gonna do anything with it. I don't even go to Earth anymore. Growing up there was enough.
I think I've done plenty what with the whole keeping them off your trail, making up somebody that didn't exist.
You can't knock me for the hustle, though. I had to ask.
Better luck next time, maybe.
Fair enough.
He'll hold his hand up.
I'll pick it up and I'll start to hand it to him and stop. So you go back to Earth now. Keep going through the galaxy.
We got a destination in mind.
And if we end up in the same place at the same time again?
Well, I truly hope that does not happen.
Well, then I guess this might just be goodbye.
He'll take the data pad, but not pull it out of your hands.
Yeah.
Take a step closer to you, into your personal bubble. Guess it might be.
What a shame.
Worse things than goodbyes.
Still prefer it was a see you later.
I mean, what the hell? He'll kiss you.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Let's go.
And he'll pull away after a little while.
Yeah.
Take a step back away from you. He's got the data pad tucked into his arm. And he'll hold up the drawing in the other hand that he lifted off of you during the kiss in the other.
This.
You think I can't remember what it is?
No, I think you can. It's just to illustrate my point. And the tips of his index and middle fingers kind of start to glow with this red light as the paper starts to like crinkle in on itself and burn into ashes. Just forget about it for my sake, please. I'd hate to find out that you died twice.
Oh, well, you know. Maybe someday you'll even get my new name. You can look out for their obituary instead.
Looks a little sad as he takes a few more seconds to look at you, then steps back towards your door, pauses, and says, "See you later, Luna Larson."
We'll see you later, Sawyer.
He's out the door, and then if you like walk to look out, you don't see any sign of him.
I think like into just the empty space, even though I can't see him, I just go, "It's Penelope, by the way." And then I'll step back into my room.
Who's Penelope? What?
My new name, it's Penny or Penelope. I don't know. I wrote down 4 and I just looked up who wasn't a criminal already.
And Penelope's what you went with?
I don't know. It's one of 4 possibilities. He couldn't hear me anyway. Let me live. I was trying it out. I was doing the say it out loud thing. I don't know.
He who?
Oh, you missed all that. Yeah. Don't worry. He's gone. And he didn't kill me.
I'm gonna need. I'm gonna go to wherever any of the speakers are. Just attention, crew of the Tenebris. I'm going to need all of you motherfuckers to stop saying such alarming and upsetting shit so casually
Yeah.
That is all.
With all due respect, Captain, eat me.
And at that
Every
point,
day.
what is there left for Cassidy to do but go to the bridge?
Yeah, I am, which is where I was headed anyway. I found one of the mini flasks we hide around here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I think it was one of the bottles. We've got a bottle tonight.
Yeah, we got a bottle somewhere. We're good.
Mm-hmm. So I do think that he's going to go to his seat. He's going to go to the cockpit. But I think he's going to go to the comm, like the computer, off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And against his better judgment, he is going to look at the obituaries again.
Okay. You scan the obituaries. The only name that jumps out at you is Luna Larson.
Who wrote my obituary? Did I write my obituary?
This is more of just a list of names.
Oh, okay, cool.
List of names.
But as you are doing that, as you are scanning that, the comms unit that's built into it, and I imagine you probably made sure that one of the ones that actually works is the one that was put here.
That is
bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes in and it's a little distorted. But it's understandable as it says, wow, Tenebris, gassed up, good to go.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you.
Safe travels out there.
Yeah. You as well.
Cuts off.
It's on a fucking rain gauge. Probably not traveling. It's fine. It's fine. I YouTubed.
Enjoy your movie. You too.
Enjoy your
You
space
too,
flight.
You too. It's just a little chug of
Crackles
love.
back on, and the Crackles back on. The voice says, "Oh, I'm not traveling anywhere. Not anytime soon. So I'm just
No, I know. Yep. I realized it as soon as I said it. Thank you.
thanks though.
Yeah, sure. Look, listen. When you travel next, let it be safe.
Hey,
The thought
Will.
that counts.
Yep.
Hey, Will, how much psychic damage is Cassidy taking from this interaction?
I'm pretty sure
Or
Q
harm.
is taking psychic damage at this point.
Correct. Mm. You two is how we built this group. That is correct. It's correct. Oh, that's real as hell. That hurts.
You hear the hiss of the fuel lines disconnecting, and I think you can't hear it from the bridge, but you kind of feel the ship shudder as the mag locks release.
Oh, thank God. Oh, open air.
All right. Let's be on our way. Independence.
Sit down at the controls, flask in hand. Ship,
Yeah.
the Tenebris disconnects and falls away from Ring Gate 315-C, fully fueled, fully stocked, ready for you to continue your journey. And a very old, scraggly looking cat jumps up into your lap, turns a couple circles, and settles in for the journey.
There's a little scritch and then let her settle in. What a nightmare.
And I think that's where we're going to end this episode of Nephilim Tenebris. Good work, everybody. Another one in the books.
Survived.
Did survive.
We did
Well,
We did
well,
it.
okay, technically one of us died, but, you know.
Did
I-
you? Who
But
does?
bureaucratically.
On
Yeah,
paper.
beer-
Yeah,
on paper only.
on paper, which is the most important part.
Is
I'm
it?
just so curious about one thing, unless I'm misunderstanding something, but I don't think I am. Why
Mhm.
did he come looking for me if he lied and they didn't know that I stabbed that guy?
Because
That one night.
Tablet.
Yeah, he needed to get that tablet back, and also
yeah,
he wanted to say goodbye.
they want
No,
to see
not
get
that.
his
him,
roaches in.
the guy that came to check the ship to make sure I wasn't on it.
Oh yeah,
Why
I mean, they
was
had
you
your
hiding in the bolt holes?
hide in the what?
The boat holes.
It's harder when my voice is like that.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. I just wanted to
Boat hole,
check.
don't worry about it.
I just wanted to check. That's a great question.
Because
Oh, don't
clearly
like that.
somebody's looking for me, but I don't know who. So fascinating.
Mhm.
Find out RP.
Yeah, that's
Next
what I'll
time
say.
on Dragon
Uh,
Ball
on-
Z.
I can't think of anyone else who would be looking for you.
I can think of a couple people that might be looking for me.
Oh, interesting.
Oh. Hmm.
Nervous.
Well,
Hmm.
find out next time. Cool. That's gonna do it for us tonight here at Live from the Apocalypse. We're gonna go around and do abstractions. People will tell you where to find them. Everything that everybody is gonna talk about or plug, you can find
Justin,
down
fucking
below.
Rip
Hey.
it, baby. Slop that down, dude.
Hey.
Shit, yeah, dude.
Thank
Crack one
you.
for the big
Thank
boy.
Thanks for the
Yeah.
donation.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for the donation. We appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed yourselves. And we'll do introductions. Everything everybody's going to talk about and plug, you can find if you scroll down and look at the cast list. That should be up to date. Probably do need to add a few things, but let's go ahead and get started. We'll keep the same order, and then we'll raid somebody here on Twitch, a friend of ours who is also streaming. So, Alex, what's up?
Hello, I'm Alex. I have been Dr. Richard Courtney this evening, who learned about crime and punishment, or more crime and consequences. And I feel that that's a growth arc for him. What do? I don't know. I write games. If you are at all a fan of the Gothic and the post-apocalyptic, you can check out any of the 2 currently released and 2 upcoming games in the Backwards tabletop universe. Those are Backwater, Backroads, Back Channels, and Backwoods. For all of your post-apocalyptic, silly horror survival needs, I write those with my partner Asa. He's brilliant. We've got brilliant artists. We've got brilliant writers that we're hiring who have lived experience in the areas that they are writing about. So you get that wonderful dash of the local flavor. What else do I want to say? I don't have any games that I'm really running right now, but things are in the works. If you like wizard schools, if you like vampires, if you like Vikings, just keep your eyes out. Things will be happening. That's all I've got to say. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. I know things are rough, but you're doing great. I'm proud of you. And keep on keeping on.
Aw.
I'm muted. It's my fault. Eli, you're up.
Oh. Hi, my name is Eli. I was playing your good friend Padlock, junker in a bun hat. But I am also a part of Mayday Roleplay. We are a actual play content creation team, and we are making a bunch of different stuff for your viewing pleasure. But most importantly, this month, guys, it's AAPI Heritage Month, and we are currently raising money of our own for the community of Lahaina. That is on the rebuild and the recovery from a devastating wildfire on last year in August. So if you go and backtrack through all of our socials and stuff like that, you'll find the link to our Ko-fi, where we're raising money there. yeah, learn more about Polynesian and Pacific Islanders and stuff like that. Learn about things going on in the world in these regions, like down in West Papua, but most importantly, the recent news that's come out in New Caledonia or Kanak that is going on. Educate yourselves. It's AAPI month. Do it. But yeah, other than that, you can find me on Mayday Roleplay or at a Go See Eli.
Yeah. And stop fucking around on Twitter because Eli needs to sleep.
Word. 100.
Mallory.
We'll find you.
Hi, I'm Mallory. I have been playing Luna Larson, who is now recently deceased. So we'll see what happens with that. Outside of this lovely show, you can find me anywhere the internet may have to offer you at Moxie Blue, MOXXIEBLUE. I also run the channel Rediscovery RPG, and I've got a cool announcement to make next week about some of our first actual play shows. I'm going to announce all of them, and then on the show Play and Process, which is where I talk about production and storytelling, I'm going to be making overlays and stuff live to kind of show what all of that's going to look like as we get closer and closer to them happening. And I also design games. They're all over on myitch.io. And I am the external producer for Unbalanced Encounters, which is a really cool D&D podcast. So if you like D&D podcasts, you can get them anywhere and everywhere. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, cool. Q.
Hi, I'm Q. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet at Midnight Inc. That's Midnight_INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. You knew it was coming. Also, I fully just died remembering that Padlock did all of the things this session in a bun hat, in a pork bun hat. So died. I'm all over the place. I am a part of the production staff for Tales from the Table Studios. We do have some projects in the works. They are coming. Trust and believe. Opposite Tuesdays from this one, you can find me over at Entropy Emporium for They Call Us Villains, the Masks horror game. This coming Thursday, not this coming Thursday. Thursdays, I am I'm here again because this is Live from the Apocalypse. I do too much. I'm so tired. For Redacted, the psychological thriller game that JD made, friend of the channel. Friday is Ass, also run by JD, friend of the channel. You know him, you love him. Saturday is Class Reunion, which is also run by Will. You might know him. He's pretty cool.
Friend of the channel.
Friend of the channel. And then Sundays, I'm over at RPGs Uncovered for the Starcrier Conflict, which is our Lancer actual play, where I'm playing another cowboy. It's a different one, so it's fine mostly, probably.
The soundbite of you say, I don't remember which stream it was, but the soundbite of you saying, I keep playing Cowboys lives in my head.
You're so welcome. I had to stop myself because like that will just become a part of the thing.
There it is.
Yeah. There are so many things that are like coming down the pipeline, so just be on the lookout, I guess.
Oh yeah, Rose.
Hi there. I've been playing JoJo. You can find me at Rose from the Grave. I'm a lurker and I don't do much. So I want to say shout out if you're in the Philadelphia area to Lombard's Cafe. They're a local place that unfortunately got vandalized, and I think that anyone in that area should go out and support them because they are a great local business, and it's important to check out folks in the community. Remember mutual aid, and thank you for watching.
Absolutely. And hi. Hello, my name is Will. I was your storyteller tonight. I played everybody else. And I'm going to Canada. But before I go to Canada, I do have one big, very cool announcement, which is that tomorrow night, pending an act of God, we will be recording the end of Cryptid Community College Season 2, our Monster of the Week actual play podcast here on Live from the Apocalypse at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There might be a Season 3. We don't know, but we're going to be recording the end of it tomorrow. It's your last chance to hear me do a bad Scottish accent. It's not true. I do it all the time. But that game is, yeah, it's fun. It's good. And we've been trying to get this finale done for a while, so it's going to happen. Tomorrow night, again, asterisk, pending an act of God, which we'll see what happens. Then I'm in Canada, and we're not streaming this weekend. I'm not streaming this weekend anyway. No new Academy H recording on Sunday, but there will be a new episode of the podcast coming out. We will be getting back into our main story. We did an interlude story, and then we did kind of a transition back into our main story, and now, after a hiatus for editing, there were some audio problems, but we're bringing it back this Sunday. Noon-ish Eastern Standard Time is when the episode will drop. I think that's it. I think it's everything I have to plug. Q already said all the things that are happening next week. We've got Asosis, we've got class reunion, and then it'll be June, which is bonkers. Anyway, I think that's it. For me, I'm at AWillM Scream pretty much everywhere on the internet. June 10th, I am running a Pride one-shot on Just the Humans channel, which will be featuring the fist system. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. It's not funny. Keep an eye out for that. You'll recognize some of the folks at that table. It's going to be a very good time. All right. All that being said, that's going to do it for us here at Live from the Apocalypse. We came, we played the game, and now we're going to bed. That mostly rhymed. Should make that a regular thing. It's fun. I'm thinking out loud. There are socials in the chat. You can follow them if you want to and know what we're up to, or you can join the Discord community. It's a great place full of great people. We would love to have you be a part of it. That's going to do it for us here tonight. So we're going to raid our friends over at Bad House RPG, who are doing the finale of their Werewolf the Apocalypse game. And from all of us here live from the Apocalypse, say goodnight, everybody.
Happy Will's
Good
Mom's
night,
Day.
Happy
Good
Will's
night,
Mom's
everybody.
Day.
Will's Mom's Day.
Happy Will's Mom's Day.
Incredible.
Can't wait for that.
Good night, everybody.
Put that